Hey, hello, and how are you? This is Shenandoah Briscoe once again. Yes, sir, today's date is May the 19th, which means it's blog 109. Well, I'm sorry, I'm going to make this sound goofy because it feels like deja vu all over again to me. And the reason it does is because apparently I clicked on something and brought up something on my screen that just blanked out the whole tape that I just done. The whole video's gone. So I'm starting all over again. So what I'm going to be saying is going to be repetitious to me, but it's going to be a first time for you. And so, therefore, that being said, what about that being said? Oh, that being said, here we go. Got the chance to stop in at Lions today. You know, Lions is the home of the free uh, strawberry shortcake on Mother's Day and Father's Day. Do you realize in the past 30 years that they have served out over 11 million free cheesecakes? Now there's a lot of free cheesecakes to you and me. No, I'm sorry, 50 million free cheesecakes. That's a lot of free cheesecakes to you and me. So you got to realize that they put their money out there. So whenever you get a chance, you take yourself down to Lyons, right there next to the St. Charles Catherine Linnerman Library, right on Elm Street, just a quarter of a block away from Duchenne. Alrighty then. That being said, they do make one heck of a good malt too. You know, I'm kind of feeling froggy today, and well, being that I'm feeling froggy, I have to tell you about a story. There's this one time that I needed a loan. So I hopped myself on down to the bank, and I hopped up there to the security guard, and I said, "Excuse me, sir, I need to get a loan." And the security guard looks down at me and he says, "But you're a frog." And I said, "Yes, sir, I am Mr. Frog." He says, "Well, Mr. Frog, you're going to have, if you want a loan, you're going to have to go over there to the loan officer. His name's Paddywhack." So I went over to the loan officer's desk and I sat there and waited until he looked down at me and he says, "Excuse me, you're a frog." Well, I hopped up in his chair there and I said, "Yes, sir, I am a frog, Mr. Frog to be exact, but I need to get a loan." And, well, Mr. Paddywhack says, "Do you have any collateral?" And I asked him, not knowing what collateral was, I said, "Well, what is collateral?" And he says, "Well, it's an item of value that we can hold in case the loan doesn't get paid off." And I said, "Well, let me see. Let me think for a second. Oh, yes, I've got just the thing." He says, "Well, you're going to have to bring that in so that we can hold on to it until the loan is paid off." So I said, "Okay, thank you, Mr. Paddywhack. I will return shortly." So I hopped down off his chair and I hopped right past that security guard and I hopped on out the bank and I hopped all the way home. And I grabbed my little piece of security that I got right off the mantle on top of the fireplace. It was a hand-me-down item that had been handed down from generation to generation in my family. So it was of great value to me. So I hopped all the way back up to the bank and I hopped back past the security guard and I hopped back up into the chair in front of Mr. Paddywhack and I said, "I have returned." And Mr. Paddywhack says, "Yes, Mr. Frog, I see that you have." He says, "Now, did you bring your piece of collateral?" And I said, "Yes, I did. Here it is. Do you think I can get a loan?" Well, Mr. Paddywhack, he looked at it, and he had never seen such a thing. So he says, "I'm not sure, Mr. Frog. Let me go back and talk to the bank manager." So he went in to the bank manager, and he looked at it. He handed it to the bank manager, and he says, "Mr. Manager, there's a frog out here who wants to get a loan. And he's got this here piece of whatever it is, and I'd like to know whether we can front him the money if this is good collateral. Well, the bank manager took one look at it and he says, "Why, sure. You see, don't you know what that is?" Mr. Paddywhack says, "I have no idea." He says, "Why, that's a knick-knack, Paddywhack. Give the frog a loan." Okay, there you go. Feeling froggy? Well, I just had to laugh at that one. Well, I'll tell you. Now, that being said, that's not the only frog joke out there. I mean, you have to realize for what it is. It's a frog joke. Now, there is another one that I have to claim that's not mine. A friend of mine told it to me years and years ago. But when he did, I didn't really get it. But now I do, because it takes an intelligent mind to catch the punchline. So, here we go. I was sitting on my lily pad one day, and I decided I was going to take a trip. So I hopped off the lily pad, and I hopped over to the first animal I saw. And I said, "Hi, I'm the big mouth frog. I eat flies and insects all day long. What's your name, and what do you do?" And the animal said, "Quack, quack, 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 quack. I'm a duck. Quack, quack, quack. And I dive for small fish, and I seal the bottom of the pond, and that's my name, and that's what I do." And I says, "Well, great. It's been great knowing you. I'm going to hop on off." So I hopped on off and went past the old edge of the pond, and I went out to a field, and I saw myself another animal. And I went up to that animal, and I says, "Hi, I'm the big mouth frog. I sit on a lily pad and eat flies and insects all day long. That's my name, and that's what I do. What's your name, and what do you do?" And the animal said, "Well, I'm a rabbit. And as a rabbit, we have a lot of baby rabbits. I eat greens all day long. When I can get it, I'll eat me a carrot from the farmer's field, from the farmer's garden. But most of the time, I spend myself out in the field." And I says, "Well, great. Glad to know you. I'm going to have to go on my way, so we'll see you later. Have a great day." So I hopped myself on up into the field a little bit further, and I come across another animal. Big animal. Ain't never seen something that big down by the swamp. So I says, "Hi, I'm the big mouth frog. I sit on a lily pad eating flies and insects all day long. What's your name, and what do you do?" Well, the animal says, "I'm a cow, and I eat grass and alfalfa out here in the farmer's field all day. Then I go up at night, and he milks me out so that he can have fresh milk in the morning. That's my name, and that's what I do." And I said, "Well, grand. I'm going to have to go ahead and take off. It's been nice meeting you, Mr. Cow." So I hopped on off, and I hopped on up into the farmer's pen yard, and I saw myself another animal. It was a disgusting animal, but I went over and talked to it anyway. So I says, "Hi, I'm the big mouth frog. I sit on a lily pad eating flies and insects all day long. That's my name, and that's what I do. What's your name, and what do you do?" Well, he says, "I'm a pig, and I waller in the mud all day long. I eat slop, and I roll in the mud and try to keep myself cooled down from the sun. That's my name, and that's what I do." And I said, "Well, grand. I'm going to have to go on and take off. You have a great day." And the pig said, "Okay." So I hopped on off, and I saw me another animal out there in the farmer's yard. And I went over to that animal and I says, "Hi, I'm the big mouth frog. I sit on a lily pad eating flies and insects all day long. That's my name and that's what I do. What's your name and what do you do?" Well, the animal says, "I'm a chicken, and I eat the cornmeal that the farmer's wife spreads out for me. I lay my eggs overnight, and then the farmer's wife picks them up every morning so that they can have eggs for breakfast. That's my name, and that's what I do." And I says, "Well, nice meeting you, Mr. Chicken. I'm going to go ahead and hop on back down towards the swamp because I got to get home. Starting to get late, you know." So anyway, I'm hopping on back down to the swamp and I see another animal. And I go over to that animal and I say, "Hi, I'm the big mouth frog. I sit on a lily pad eating flies and insects all day long. That's my name, and that's what I do. What's your name and what do you do?" Well, the animal says, "I'm a fox, and I eat rabbits, and I eat mice, and I eat small rodents, and that's my name, and that's what I do." And I says, "Well, it's been nice meeting you, Mr. Fox. I gotta hop on home, so you have a great day." So then I get back over to the swamp, and I see one more animal, and I go up to that animal, and I says, "Hi, I'm the big mouth frog. I sit on a lily pad eating flies and insects all day long. That's my name, and that's what I do. What's your name, and what do you do?" And the animal says, "I'm an alligator, and I eat big mouth frogs." And I says, "You don't say." There you go. That's the punchline. Okay, it'll take a little bit to figure it out, but once you do, chime in on my Facebook page at Hello and How Are Ya. That's Y-A-Y, not you. Alrighty? Chime in on there and say, "Oh, I get it." Okay, I appreciate it. Now, you can catch these videos on Hello and How Are Ya on YouTube, or it's probably easier just to go in there by my name, Shenandoah, S-H-O. Go by Shenandoah, Shenandoah, Briscoe, B as in boy, Riscoe. And if you put them in there in the browser bar by Shenandoah Briscoe, you'll come up with all the Hello and How Are Yas. Because, well, hey, those are the ones I liked, and, well, it comes up by my name. Alrighty, that being said, I've got, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sing a little tune for you. Now, of course, the song I was going to sing at first was Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog, but I noticed that Bullfrog was only mentioned in there once, and so that song's not going to happen. Now, there was another song that I thought I might sing, and it's a Burl Ives song. Now, that song is called Little White Duck. So I'm going to use a non-descriptive, non-named search engine. Just about said what it was, so I'm going to use this search engine down here, and I'm going to look it up. Well, it didn't work. Wake up. Give me the lyrics. To Little White Duck. Go to sleep. There's a little white duck sitting on the water, a little white duck doing what he oughta. He took a bite of a lily pad, flapped his wings and said, "I'm glad I'm a little white duck sitting in the water. Quack, 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 quack. There's a little green frog swimming in the water. A little green frog doing what he oughta. He jumped right off of the lily pad that the little duck bit, and he said, I'm glad. I'm a little green frog swimming in the water. Glum, 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 glum. There's a little black bug floating on the water. A little black bug doing what he oughta. He tickled the frog on the lily pad that the duck bit, and he said, I'm glad. I'm a little black bug floating on the water. Chirp, buzz, chirp, buzz, chirp, buzz, buzz, buzz. There's a little red snake playing in the water. A little red snake doing what he oughter. He frightened the duck and the frog so bad. He ate the little bug and he said, I'm glad. I'm a little red snake lying in the water. Wiggle, hiss, wriggle, hiss, wriggle, hiss, hiss. Now there's nobody left sitting in the water. Nobody left doing what he oughta. There's nothing left but the lily pad. The duck and the frog ran away. I'm sad, 'cause there's nobody left sitting in the water. Boo, 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 not doing what they oughta. Nobody left a-sitting in the water. Alrighty then, that should be close to time up. Yes, sir, it's time over. All right, well, this here Shannon